I think the way I understand, Rahul, this is that there are three issues here. One of selectivity, two of divisiveness, and three of polarization. So let me delve briefly into them one by one. One, selectivity. Rahul, for every Hindu procession that passes by a mosque and blares its music, so-called provocative music, there is a Muslim procession that passes by a temple and blares the same provocative music. But we are offended only by one, the former. So you find Jai Shri Ram provocative, but Deen ke Gaddar, Bulaun Kya Ali ko not provocative. Why? For every act of bigotry, hate crime, intolerance committed by Hindus on Muslims, there is a similar act committed by the Muslims on Hindus. But we highlight only the former. Why? Take the recent Delhi riots, for example, where both Hindus and Muslims took part, where both Hindus and Muslims got killed. But they were still labeled as anti-Muslim pogrom. Why? Number two, this bogey of dividing India, and I really must address this because it's been too long. I'm sorry, but either you are ignorant or blind. The single biggest divider in chief is religion. Why are we so uncomfortable saying this? I don't understand. When a religion demands subservience, exhorts exclusivity, supremacy, when it says the believers are different, they are better, and non-believers will go to hell, will be punished, is that not divisive? Now we know that more than 52% of the holy books verses call for the annihilation of non-Muslims. No one has the right to be worshipped but Allah, 40:62. Those who deny the Quran, their necks will be shackled, 40:70. Polytheists are the worst of creatures, 98:6. Fight against those who do not believe in Allah and who do not adopt Islam. Fight them until they give the jizya, i.e. tax, while they are humble, 929. Those who disbelieve in our verses, we will drive them into a fire, 456. How is this not divisive? I'm asking as an academic. I'm not trying to polarize, but let me come. I get this all the time. Why all this Hindu Muslim talk all the time? They say this the moment I talk of the religion other than Hinduism. They never tire exposing the ills of Hinduism, perhaps rightly so. They want to burn the Vedas and the Smritis. They want people to reject Hinduism, leave its fold. But the moment you talk of Islam, the moment you quote the holy verses unpalatable to them, the moment you redress this balance, they cry, don't talk of religion. Someone tell them that religion must be talked about not just some of the time, but all of the time. It is the great disruptor. It has led to illogic and irrationality and murder and terror. It is the longest running dictatorial regime that has subjugated billions and ordered and extracted unspeakable crimes from them. And yet, you don't want atheists to expose its ills? Why? Because you are scared and embarrassed by it. You are embarrassed that science has exposed all what you thought was real and the truth as fantasy and a lie. You are embarrassed that despite this, you still follow religion, and your embarrassment has turned into hatred for those who try and expose it.
Unfounded fears and dividing this nation further. Dr. Ranganathan.
No, absolutely. Good evening, Rahul, and good evening to all my fellow panelists. Look, these multiple attacks on Hindu processions, on Ramnavami the whole past week, and on Hanuman Jayanti in Jahangirpuri. It's multiple cities. They have to be condemned. And you're absolutely right. Just a small, I think, correction if I'm not mistaken, the permission to hold this yatra was sought, the letters were sent, but the police did not agree to that, and yet the yatra went. So I think that is illegal. The Commissioner Asthana is absolutely right. Under no circumstances, because the police did not give the permission, even though it was sought. The police did not give the permission. So the yatra should not have happened. As simple as that. There is one law and everyone has to follow it. And as for Mr. Varis Patani, he's a very good friend. But he's been lying through his teeth, and I'm afraid on a lighter note, if one of his clients is watching this, he'll probably go and tell the judge that, Judge Sahab, मैं अकेले लड़ लूंगा अपना case, Pathan Sahab को lawyer नहीं रखूंगा. I'm astonished by how some people are cushioning the perpetrators and trying to justify their violent actions of stone pelting and throwing of petrol bombs and arson and damage to public property. Rahul, this is sickening. The extent to which these Hindu folks will go. Thank you, by the way, for busting not only so many other propaganda, but the major one, that Bhagwa flag on mosque fake narrative. Forget Ansar. It appears every member of their rotten eco and saying, मैं झुकेगा नहीं, जितना भी propaganda मैं फैलाऊंगा, फैलाना है, जो करना कर लो. Rahul, We live in a deeply polarized world, yes. But we never sit back to think, why are we polarized? What's it? What begets intolerance? Why this selectivity? For every Hindu procession that passes by a mosque and blares music, there is a Muslim procession that passes by a temple and blares music. But we are offended by only the former. For every Hindu procession that brandishes swords, there is a Muslim procession that brandishes swords too. But we are offended by only the former. You find Jai Shri Ram provocative, but Deen ke Gaddar, Bulau Ali ko not provocative. Why? For every act of bigotry, hate crime, intolerance committed by Hindus or Muslims, there is a similar act committed by Muslims or Hindus, but we highlight only the former. Why? Now some people are saying stones were pelted by Muslims because Hindus were brandishing swords. This is such a specious argument because one, Muslim processions also brandish swords, but they aren't attacked. And if on an off chance they are you justifying attack on Muslim processions just because they are brandishing swords? And two, did all Hindu processions that were attacked in the past week brandish swords? No. Three, this is the same awful justification these sun-dried turnips give every time Hindus are attacked. This action-reaction, provocation-reaction theory. But then, why don't they apply the same theory to Godhra riots and justify them as a reaction to the trains burning? There they don't bring this action-reaction theory. Finally, Rahul, just 20 seconds. Take the recent 2020 Delhi riots, where both Hindus and Muslims took part, where both Hindus and Muslims got killed. But why are they still labeled as anti-Muslim pogrom? The tragedy is the common man can see through this propaganda and fake narrative. But these peddlers continue to peddle it. You can't cure them, Rahul. You have to endure them. Kya kare?
Dr. Anand Ranganathan wants to respond to you. I'll come to you, Sanju Verma. Last, no problems. You can respond to everybody. Yes, Doctor.
Thank you. Very briefly, Rahul, because I've already explained theory that my good friend Ashutosh is peddling again, this action-reaction theory, that somebody, provoked you, so violence is justified. But let me not go there. Incidentally, is now saying that Ansar, that thing is photoshopped, is actually a BJP karyakarta. Is Tahir Hussain also BJP karyakarta? Usko bhi...
Well...
And incidentally, Amanullah Khan, Ashutosh was in AAP. Kejriwal wanted Amanullah Khan arrested.
Okay. So why is the Aam Aadmi Party not coming out and saying very clearly if he's a member or not?